I'm Jacob Fair, the only influencer to help you win. I will start something new. And now, many people who show off, possibly even are successful and share what they have. And I'm not hating on that. I think that's great. What I'm doing, and I'll start something completely new, and I have done a little bit in the past, and this is reality. This is the same thing what they are doing, except for I'll show you the process. What does it take to become successful, to get where they're at? And they do not show you all their failures, all the steps they're doing to get there. They still don't. They don't show you the process, all the failures they have. They only show you their wins. If you're lucky, you can see a glimpse of a rejection or anything what they may have. But they will always show you the rejections they get, the ones they can overcome. Well, that's great, because that's also a good way to learn, is to see some examples where it's working. The real learning is when you're failing. So when you get rejected and you try to handle the rejection and you don't succeed, that stays on your mind longer. And you try to, because of it staying on your mind, you find yourself thinking, what could I say different? Trying to improve it and find solutions for it when you fail. When you succeed, you focus more on the success part of it, not the process of it. So let's say, for example, you're closing someone, you're making a sale, and the person does buy. And now your thought is the rejoice of the commission of it, things like that, the reward of it. And if nothing else, you celebrate. But you celebrate the reward of it, not the process of it. And you end up forgetting the process. There's no focus on it. It's not like you forgot, but there's no focus on it. And there's very little of learning in there. When you fail, when you try and a number of attempts, you keep getting rejected and you fail, the person did not buy from you. Now, you do remember they did not buy from you. That's not the biggest focus, because even though you remember, it didn't work, then you're thinking of, why didn't it work? How can I make it work? And you start focusing on the process and changing the process, improving the process, so that next time it will work. Or at least increase the odds of it working. So that's why I'm going to do it, and I'm going to show you the process. All those times it does not work. And one thing to remember is when someone is successful in something, how many times did they try before they're successful? And usually it's many times they try. Especially if you have become successful in many different things or many times, that means you have failed many more times than you have succeeded. It's just how it is. With successful people, even more so than the average person. To be able to have 5 success, you'll have like 400, 500 failures. Been that lucky. Yeah, you could probably get 5 sales in one day, probably more. I have. But there are also many rejections. And it helps to get a few successes because then it puts you in a good state. And when you're in a good state, with good energy and being happy and things like that, feeling good, that helps because when you meet another person, they can see that, they can feel how you feel by your body posture and facial expression and all those things. It almost transfers your energy, or at least that they understand what state you're in, right? And I'm not talking about location. I'm talking about yourself. So that does definitely help, and it might even lift their spirits by improving their day a little bit just by you cheerfully speaking with them. That does not mean that they will buy from you just because you're happy. It does help, does improve your chances. And when you do succeed, it's very important to remember why you succeeded, how you succeeded, and what you did to succeed. And the times you do not, it's important not to dwell on it, to be all sad about it and down on yourself. It's important to just look at it and think of it, what changes you can make, what improvements you can make, and go that way. So, getting back to what I'm going to be doing now is, well, right now what I'm focused on is meeting people. And I'm going to do it through the phone. That way I can reach people more quickly and more of them. Also, I find, especially in the past for myself, and I also see in many others, they do not like speaking on the phone. They do not like to call a stranger and things like that. Especially if there's an answer machine, that's really uncomfortable. Nobody wants to leave a message. And, well, that's something we'll work on, right? And I'm not going to try to sell somebody something, or not that it will seem that way. What we're going to do here is influence and make friends. Now, this is like going to be reality. I'm going to make the call and you'll hear how it goes. And even if I get a hang up, and usually I don't. I don't think I've ever had a hang up. I can't remember one. And I would think that's something you'd remember. So, even though, like, I'm not going to get, well, who knows? Who knows how I'm going to say, oh, you want to be my friend? Probably not like that. But I'm going to come up with all kinds of ideas and see if I can get someone to stay on the phone for a while and just chat. See if I can get someone to chat. And I'm going to keep working on that to see if I can get more people to chat for a longer amount of time. And I don't know if you've ever tried this for people, especially who are doing for business and things like that. It's very hard to call somebody who's never heard of you, never seen you, never talked to you, nothing. And for them to stay on longer than a minute, usually, oh, you got the wrong number, or they'll come up with something else, or like they don't want to talk to you. They don't even know why. A lot of times it's not that they don't want to talk to you. They just don't know what to say. People are shy, or that's how it seems. When it comes to strangers, now, I don't know where this is all taught, but the whole idea of being afraid of strangers. Well, my child came home one day from school, and she said to me, I don't know what we're talking about or what was happening, but all of a sudden she said, stranger danger. And I said, no, strangers are your best friends. There's no drama attached to any stranger. You've never met them. They don't hate you for a certain reason or whatever.